Good afternoon. Welcome to the forecast discussion for June 29th, 2014. It is currently 3:40 p.m. It's the afternoon edition of the daily forecast. And what do we have in place? Just wonderful weather. Absolutely beautiful weather. We have a southerly wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures in the lower to mid 80s away from the coast. Upper 70s to lower 80s right along the coast. I mean, this is just, you can't ask for better weather. I mean, it's outstanding. You have winds coming from the south, and that's why it's a little bit cooler right along the coast from the south to southeast wind, influencing, having some influencing effect from the Atlantic Ocean, and that's why you're a little bit cooler. And notice the dew points are in the 50s and lower 60s. I mean, again, for summer, this is perfect weather. And I got some good news for you. Take this weather, rinse, repeat. That's what's going to be next weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you have plans for any outdoor activities for 4th of July weekend, what you see today is what you're going to see next week. So you can probably turn off the video at that point if that's what you were waiting for. But we do have some tropical trouble that we have to touch on just a moment. Let's take a look at the surface map. And you can see high pressure is right over the region, starting to shift east. This is the strongest portion of that high pressure system, thus southerly wind. This low pressure system is what we're going to be keeping an eye on right around the 4th of July weekend. I want to stress this is not a tropical low pressure system yet. Not. Okay? And it's for even if it was, it'd be an incredibly weak tropical low pressure system at that. But it has the potential, and I'll show you why in just a moment. On the radar, not much going on here over the northern Mid-Atlantic. Over here we have a few disturbances. This is what happens when you increase humidity in the atmosphere and you get a few disturbances. You get these pop-up showers and thunderstorms. This is what we're going to have to watch out for, especially for Tuesday and for Wednesday afternoon. And Wednesday night into Thursday, that's when the bomb drops out and we have a powerful cold front move through. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see for the most part that northerly flow in effect and really not much going on in the northern Mid-Atlantic. We have a few disturbances that are moving through the plains in the Tennessee River Valley and Mississippi River Valley. Not going to be a problem for us. And here's some of those disturbances I was talking about. This right here is going to be a very slow moving cold front that will finally reach the northern Mid-Atlantic by Wednesday night through Thursday. And I'd say through Thursday because this cold front is going to move very slowly. And then here we have our little disturbance here. I want to be very clear. At this time today, and at least for the next 48 hours, it's these northerly winds, and I'll show it better on the water vapor satellite picture in a moment. There's a lot of shear here. You got dry air here. So there's a lot going against it right now. The idea, which I'll show in the model guidance, is that this kind of festers down here just to the north of the Bahamas, and the sea surface temperatures are very warm. So it kind of festers and hangs around, and finally upper level conditions become favorable by Tuesday night to support tropical development. That tropical development allows for some, well, development as far as possibly a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm. Now the models are really aggressive in intensifying this low pressure system because it's going to be sitting right over the Gulf Stream, which is a very warm body of water. So there is a potential for this to jump from a tropical depression, tropical storm, and a weak hurricane if you believe all the model guidance in a very short period of time. However, do not worry about this impacting your weekend plans, and I'll show why in just a moment. On the water vapor satellite picture, you can see the upper level winds here in blue. Okay, now you can see the convergence and confluence over the northern Mid-Atlantic. There's your dry air, sinking air. Here's our nice little upper level low over the northwestern Atlantic. That's been our friend all spring and all summer, keeping the hot and humid weather conditions at bay. At most, you see maybe 1 or 2 days of hot and humid conditions, which is basically going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. Then Thursday, those temperatures fall off as far as the humidity aspect. Then the temperatures follow on Friday. But this is what I was talking about with the shear, with that northerly wind. When you have winds like this over a tropical disturbance, that's called shear. And basically shear is the exact opposite of what you want. You see how there's no upper level winds here? That's what you want over a tropical system, and that's pretty much what's going to start to develop over this tropical, not depression, disturbance uh, by the time we get to Tuesday night. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance using the Penn State EWOL website, using the 12Z European model guidance. And again, from this morning, you can see that ridge is in place. You have winds at the upper levels driving down on this little disturbance here. High pressure is in control. For tomorrow, tonight into tomorrow, high pressure in control, sliding a little bit further east. It's going to lead to a little bit stronger southerly wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Low temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Highs temperatures tomorrow afternoon, lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid 80s everywhere else. Humidity a little bit higher. You're going to feel a little bit more, but it's not dramatic yet. On Tuesday, that's when we get a stronger southwesterly flow at all levels of the atmosphere, thus our humidity goes up. Notice we start to develop a ridge right over this little disturbance here that's going to be meandering to the north of the Bahamas. That allows for the potential for some intensification or organization, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. On Tuesday afternoon, actually first the low temperatures on Tuesday, mid 60s. You can already see where the higher humidity comes in. High temperatures tomorrow, on Tuesday should I say, mid to upper 80s for much of the region. Could see a 90-degree temperature in, let's say, Newark or in Philadelphia right around the airports because of all the concrete and asphalt in the area. But for the most part, mid to upper 80s can be expected throughout the region. Dew points are going to be in the lower 70s, and so it's going to feel like the lower to mid 90s. That's Tuesday. On Wednesday, same scenario. Southwesterly wind at almost all levels of the atmosphere. Hot and humid day. It's going to be in place. Low temperatures in the lower 70s. High temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. Just away from the coast, mid to upper 80s over Long Island and along the coast. With the humidity, we're going to have a dew point in the lower to mid 70s, and that, of course, means heat index is going to be in the mid, possibly even upper 90s. It's going to feel like a horrible day out there, especially if you have to wear a suit and walk around Manhattan. It's just not going to be pretty. But the good news, I do have some good news, is that cold front is going to move through, and this cold front that's going to move through Wednesday night through Thursday is going to be a very important factor for our forecast. 1, it drops the temperatures. 2, it drops the humidity. And 3, it keeps whatever is developing out here to the north of the Bahamas well out away from the northern mid-Atlantic. Why? Because upper level winds from the southwest will take this and kick it right out here into the northern Atlantic with no impacts on our region, aside from a few interesting impacts that actually are positive. So on Thursday, look for showers and thunderstorms. Low temperatures in the lower to mid 70s. High temperatures, I'm going mid 80s. I'm going below what the Moss guidance is doing here. But notice the dew points are going to start to fall off in the afternoon. So that's going to be a positive. Here we are on Friday. Now here's our disturbance here. Here's our trough, a southwesterly flow. You see this little purple area? This little sinking area here? That's sinking air. Whenever you're on the western side of a tropical disturbance, that leads to sinking air. So you have your cold front off the coast here on Friday morning. You have this little tropical disturbance, whatever it is, a depression, storm, maybe even a hurricane, depending on the rapid development potential here. So on Friday, temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s for lows, lower to mid 80s for highs, and that disturbance is just off the North Carolina coast. By the time we get to Friday into Saturday, that low pressure system is now off of the Delmarva by about Saturday morning. So what we have here is sinking air to the west and northwest of this disturbance. So in actuality, what you really have setting up here on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is that this disturbance is off the coast. So probably expect enhanced surf, rip tides, very strong wave action. So some of you guys that like to surf, it's going to be perfect for those conditions, but be careful. As far as the weather, actually clear skies. Because of the way that these tropical systems develop, you have a lot of sinking air in place. So what happens is that the skies clear to just to the north and west of these systems. And with this cold front kicking everything out into the Atlantic, I really don't expect at this time any type of threat. with this disturbance. I will say this though, if this cold front is slower or the trough is slower, we might have a little bit more to be concerned about. But right now I don't expect that, so we'll watch it and see how it evolves. And then by the time we get to Sunday morning, well, it's going to be perfect out there. High pressure and control, sky cloud cover, temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, lower to mid 80s, should I say, for highs on Sunday with clear skies throughout the region. So to wrap up, almost a heat wave, very close on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday it's a little iffy because we're going to have showers and thunderstorms around. Thursday night to Friday we're going to watch this tropical disturbance, see where the cold front sets up. The further east that cold front is, the further it's off the coast, the better it will be for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with clear skies and very comfortable temperatures and conditions. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.